Right now at 5, local businesses partner up for the 7th annual Webb City Merry Market.
We've got scattered showers and thunderstorms rolling through the area this morning. We also have that possibility of a couple of strong storms later today. And look at that forecast to get you out the doors coming up.
Plus, Cecil Floyd Elementary in Joplin hosts its 33rd annual craft show. We'll take you there.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is now Monday, November the 18th. Happy Monday to everyone out there. And we don't have an alert day in place, and we'll go over that. But there still is a lot of weather happening today and a lot of things we got to cover this morning, and not really a lot of time to do it in. I mean, 3 hours is just not enough time sometimes. But we're going to go ahead and dive right into what we've got going on. First, with a live look outside our camera downtown Pittsburgh. That is water all over it because, well, it's been raining. It's been raining since last night. Nothing strong, nothing severe this morning, at least not for us. MoDOT camera, 20th in range line. Again, rain, wet roadways. And that's the other thing you got to watch out. You don't want to go hydroplaning. Watch your speed. Be careful. There are a lot of curvy roads around this area, so just slow down out there. Here's a look at the Skywatch Storm Tracker. So showers and storms with the exception of some of our far southern counties. Everybody else getting in on rain this morning, starting to southeast Kansas. I mean, really, we could spend the entire show listing every community because all of you are seeing showers and some rumbles of thunder and some moderate to heavy rain. You can see around the Independence area and then southeast of Sedan, now rolling into Pittsburgh and into Joplin and Carthage. We've heard some of that heavier rain on the rooftop here. So there's that heavier rain again into central Jasper County, western Jasper County. Moderate showers south of Greenfield, just north of Mount Vernon, getting into Stockton, Nevada, Lamar, down into Oklahoma. More of the same, but some heavier rain from Bartlesville, Newada, over to Veneta and up into Miami. So, of course, that's a good portion of the Will Rogers Turnpike out there. And then off to our south and west. Now, here's where the fun begins, is we're not looking at a significant severe threat for us today. But right now, down in Oklahoma, they are dealing with slightly more significant severe weather, and this line will eventually make its way to us. Now, they've had so far 3 confirmed tornadoes in western Oklahoma. Again, our atmosphere here is not expected to be conducive enough for significant severe weather like they're seeing, but that line will eventually march its way off to the north and to the east, and it will bring us an opportunity for a strong storm or two out there. On top of that, rain excluded. Look at this. We've got some dense fog out there. Miami, under a mile of visibility, very dense fog parts of Ottawa and Craig counties, and really patchy fog across the entire region. We have a wind advisory for everybody except Benton County through 6 because south winds will be gusting upwards of 45 to 50 miles an hour. That's non-thunderstorm wind gusts. Future track by noon, showers, thunderstorms. We're expecting a line along a cold front, which is what we're seeing now, and this is our window between noon and 3 for possibly a strong storm or two across the region. Now, again, we're not talking widespread severe weather, but we do have that chance with all hazards possible, unfortunately. Maybe an isolated tornado, winds 60, 65 miles an hour, and perhaps some hail up to quarter size. So it's something we'll be watching through the morning and into the early afternoon. Rain out there, 65, Joplin 64, Pittsburgh. You can see where that cold front is. It's a sharp cutoff out there. And take a look at our temperatures and the winds already picking up out there. We're all into the low to mid 60s across the region. So kids getting on the bus, umbrella, definitely, jacket 65, thunderstorms, southeast breeze 10 to 15, gusts to 25. When that bus brings them home, not much change, upper 60s, south winds 15 to 25, gusts to 45, maybe 50 in some cases. Our highs today, upper 60s, maybe a couple low 70s. Showers, thunderstorms, very windy out there. And then say after 5, 6 o'clock, well, the rain's gone and we'll start clearing out overnight tonight. We'll talk more about these thunderstorm chances, break down the timing, what we're looking at in the full forecast, and that'll be coming up here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, one person is in a hospital with serious injuries following a crash in Joplin. KOAM's Shannon Becker has more details.
Late Friday, Saginaw Hill at the entrance to Wildwood, a serious crash. 2 vehicles. One person was pinned in the wreckage for about 20 minutes.
Redding's Mill Fire Department, assisted by Joplin Fire. Missouri State Highway Patrol Sergeant Sanders on the scene tells us a vehicle was traveling north on Gateway Drive, crossed the center line, and struck a minivan that was traveling south. Person in the minivan was not injured. Serious injuries to the other driver who went off the road, overturned into the trees down a steep embankment. Gateway Drive traffic was either detoured or delayed for about 90 minutes.
On Saginaw Hill, south of Joplin, I'm Shannon Becker. KOAM News Now, Joplin News First.
Well, since the crash, there have been no updates released on the driver's condition. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. Well, 11 downtown Webb City businesses partnered up for the 7th annual Webb City Merry Market. Each shop that participated had its own sales and specials for people's holiday shopping. Some locations even had pop-up vendors. Now, every time a guest bought something at one of the businesses, they would be entered to win a gift basket with a value of $800.
Just come and see what everybody has to offer, and it's a great time. And we do one in the spring and the fall. So in the spring we'll do one March or April, somewhere in there, and same kind of concept.
If you got a VIP pass, you could get a swag bag at each business. Well, Cecil Floyd Elementary School in Joplin held their 33rd annual craft show Saturday. Vendors sold their crafts to help fundraise for the school's Parent-Teacher Association. KOAM's Mitch Adams brings us more details.
I think it's a very significant, has a very significant impact on the community.
Every year, an opportunity is open to local craft makers looking to sell their handmade items. For the past 3 decades, that opportunity has been the Cecil Floyd Craft Show.
We do handmade crafts only. We don't do direct sales or anything like that. The proceeds that we raise here go directly back into our school for the teachers and the students for added resources. We send teachers out for conferences, get electronics for the kiddos, or upgrade playground equipment. So it all stays here within our school.
Kathy Dawson has been setting up her booth at the craft show for around 17 years. Every year, Dawson enjoys visiting with new and returning customers and sharing her craft.
It's very rewarding. I have people come back year after year to see what's new. People enjoy seeing bright, colorful things that they can take home for not a lot of investment.
Months of planning go into the craft show, and vendors are encouraged to attend to help grow their own businesses while benefiting the elementary school.
It's a year-round thing. So we're already handing out applications for next year's event, and it's just tomorrow we'll start fresh, starting from the very beginning again, collecting vendor applications, getting things squared away for next year's event. It's just doesn't ever stop.
In Joplin, Missouri, Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
Admission for the craft show was a $3 donation to the Elementary School Parent-Teacher Association. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes, coming up on the KOAM Morning News. Pitt State football clinches a spot in the Division II playoffs. We'll have those details. Plus, Vienna's Town Hall held a Christmas tree lighting a day after the city's famous Christmas market opened to visitors. And we're tracking rain chances for today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Sky Watch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. We entered week 11 of the NFL season, and the Kansas City Chiefs are still undefeated. This Sunday, the Chiefs face their toughest test yet, going on the road to play the Buffalo Bills. In Buffalo at Highmark Stadium, it's Patrick Mahomes versus Josh Allen. We're going to pick things up in the second quarter. Bills lead 6-0. Mahomes with a sidearm dump pass to Xavier Worthy, and he dives across the pylon, and that's a touchdown. Chiefs now lead 7-6. To go later in the second quarter, Bills leading 13-7. Mahomes on 3rd and goal finishes his tight end Noah Gray. Chiefs go back in front, now 14-13. Fourth quarter, Buffalo leading 16-14. Josh Allen avoids the blitz and goes to Curtis Samuel. Nobody is home on the back end. Bills lead 23-14. 2-score game. Next Chiefs possession. Mahomes searches for an open receiver, and he connects with Noah Gray again for his second touchdown of the game. However, Buffalo still leading 23-21. So here's the difference in the game. 4th down and 2. Buffalo is going for it. Josh Allen decides to take off and avoids multiple tacklers. He scores the game-clinching touchdown. Chiefs lose their first game of the year. Buffalo beats KC 30-21.
It's a great game to learn from for some of our young guys. Two good teams play each other. The margin between winning and losing is small, man. And so, and that starts with me. We can all learn from it and take something out of this and make us better down the road here. So we'll do that.
I mean, like I said, it's a good football team, so nothing to hang your head on. I'm losing to them, but we feel like we can play better. So we'll get back to work and try to use this as a spark so that we can be a better football team in the end. And the undefeated thing was cool, but that's not our ultimate goal, so we'll keep building towards that.
We've played 12 weeks of regular season football, and now the Division II college football playoffs have arrived. Pitt State has clinched their spot in the playoffs for the third consecutive year after beating Northwest Missouri State this past Saturday. To celebrate the postseason achievement, the entire Pitt State football team gathering at Club 505 in Pittsburgh. The team watched the Division II selection show while eating dinner at the local restaurant. Head coach Tom Anthony spoke about what it took for the Gorillas to get into the postseason this year.
Super proud of the resiliency and just the way these guys continue to fight and the way we were able to bounce back yesterday down at up at Northwest. So, this is really a celebration for them, a culmination of the hard work they put in this season to get to this point. And we always talk to our guys. I mean, this is why we come to Pitt State, is to play in the postseason.
So here's the official Division II playoff seeding. Fair State has the number 1 seed in Super Region 3. They will get a bye week, but Pitt State football is number 3 seed in that Super Region. They will get to host a playoff game next Saturday at Carney Smith Stadium. The only other team from the MIAA to earn a bid in the playoffs is Central Oklahoma, who is the number 4 seed in the region. Well, still to come, we're going to see why a new study finds standing desks could be bad for your health. Plus, another check of that forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 5:17 on the dot, and we have got a lot to talk about. So we've got rain, we've got drizzle, we got heavy rain. Outside of that, though, and I know this is a fact because I ran into it myself, we've got patchy fog across almost the entire area as well. So Miami down under a mile of visibility. This is impacting a good portion of 60 and I-44. We've got reduced visibilities across the area, impacting the majority of our major highways. So low beams, not your high beams, slow down. And you want to slow down anyway because hydroplaning is going to be a concern. It's been raining for quite some time and heavy at some times, so the roads are very wet. There are puddles. You do not want to lose control out there, so do be cautious. Then we have this, a wind advisory for everybody except Benton County until 6 o'clock this evening. We're looking at winds out of the south sustained 15 to 25 with gusts 45 to 50. I want to emphasize the wind advisory is not for any thunderstorm winds. This is going to be winds that will be blowing. If you get a break in storms, we're talking winds outside of storms gusting that high. And even when it's storming, if the storm isn't strong or severe, we could still be dealing with these gusts of 45 to 50 miles an hour. Now, here's the Skywatch Storm Tracker. We're going to take a tour and we've got some information for you. We're going to break this all down. We've got showers, thunderstorms across the entire region. Right now, really not a lot of lightning activity being picked up, but you may hear a rumble of thunder. Remember, Skywatch Storm Tracker does not detect cloud-to-cloud lightning, only cloud-to-ground. So you may see some lightning, but it's not reaching the ground at this point. Into southwest Missouri, our southern counties, Cassville, Monette, you're dry. You've been dry for a little while, but more shower storms on the way. They're right along and west of 49. Joplin, you had a pause, more rain rolling in, heavier rain north of Carthage around Jasper. And then we've got more heavy rain up around Greenfield, Stockton, rolling into Lamar, so I-49 up through Nevada, dealing with some moderate showers. Down into Oklahoma, we've got lighter rain now. Miami, Veneta, Nowata, Bartlesville, you're all getting in on some moderate rainfall. That's kind of lifting to the north, a little bit of moderate rainfall in between Grove and Miami out here, stretching into southeast Kansas. The southern portion of the area, just some moderate showers all the way to Girard, Pittsburgh, Columbus. I mean, you kind of get the idea. You can look at the radar, you know where you are, and obviously you probably know it's raining at this point. Up in the northern part of southeast Kansas, lighter showers, Burlington, Yates Center, more moderate rainfall on the way as all of this continues to track out. So here's what we're watching. Now I want to talk about some things real quick. One, our atmosphere here is not expected to be as conducive for severe weather, not expected to be able to breed as much severe weather as what's happening in Oklahoma right now. This tornado watch goes up to Oklahoma City, runs through 10 a.m. These severe thunderstorm warnings, of course, continue for the next several hours, and there's a tornado warning on the far northern edge of this line. Now, this line, that's what's going to bring us a window for some stronger storms a little later this morning. And honestly, I think that our best window is going to be, say, between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. for a strong storm or two. We're going to talk about that in a moment. So here's that line. You can see it. It is plowing northeast at 55. And on Max 2, we actually have a storm track on what we're looking at in terms of timing, assuming that these storms do hold that speed. And we're going to be able to show that to you here in just a second. But we're talking about arrival times, again, about mid-morning here. And they are going to, again, lift off to the northeast. We may not show you that, and that's perfectly fine too, but I've got it listed, so I'll tell you. We're looking at getting up around Tulsa by just before 8 this morning. Parsons, 8:51. Joplin, about 9:43. Into Bentonville by about 10:30. Now, again, we're not looking at the same atmosphere for the significant severe weather, but we do have that opportunity for a strong storm or two. So we do have that possibility of perhaps an isolated tornado or two across the whole region. Hail, a little more confined into Kansas and Oklahoma, but maybe up to quarter size. And winds outside of the gusts we're already going to experience that could push upwards of 60, 65 miles an hour. So it's something we'll be watching throughout the morning for you. And the future track, again, really just kind of showing you where that line's going to be. We're looking at some information. It looks like future track may be a couple hours slow. So these may be on their way out of here a little earlier than what we're looking at right now. But again, best window between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. is what we're looking at now if there's going to be a strong storm or two. Upper 60s today, low 60s tomorrow. Then that Arctic chill still on the horizon. Low 50s for highs as we head into the weekend. Overnight lows into the 30s. We'll get a little closer to normal as we kick off the next work week. More showers next Wednesday. We'll have latest on these thunderstorm chances, what you can expect here in just a few more minutes, and then we've got Health Watch right after this.
Topping Health Watch this morning. Standing desks are a big seller and the market for them is expected to grow in the coming years. But a new study from Australia may make you think twice before you buy a standing desk. Researchers found that prolonged standing may not improve heart health and could even cause other problems. More than 83,000 people participated in the study, while prolonged sitting has long been associated with obesity, diabetes, and cardiovascular diseases. Researchers found standing did not reduce the risk and increased a person's risk of circulatory problems. The research say the key to staying healthy is moving and interrupting long stretches of sitting or standing. Well, in the U.S., preterm birth is a leading cause of infant deaths, and new data shows the country has a long way to go to protect those who are pregnant and their babies. Mandy Gaither looks at the numbers and explains why experts believe U.S. infants are dying at high rates.
She passed.
For the third year in a row, the U.S. gets a D+ grade from the March of Dimes annual report on maternal and infant health for its high preterm birth rate.
Mothers and babies deserve better.
For every 1,000 babies born in 2023, about 6 died, according to provisional CDC data. That death rate is the same as the year before, and the March of Dimes report finds the rate of preterm births remained at 10.4% last year. Those are babies born before 37 weeks gestation, again unchanged from the previous year.
So it's remaining at historically high levels.
Dr. Amanda Williams says racial disparities also persist. For Black people, the preterm birth rate is 1.5 times higher than the rate among all other babies. The March of Dimes report says certain risk factors are contributing to the high overall preterm birth rates. First, the number of people who have chronic conditions during pregnancy and inadequate prenatal care.
A third of all counties in the United States are maternity care deserts. And that means that there is no prenatal care provider, no obstetrician, no midwife, no family practice doc who does OB, and no maternity unit.
Williams says identifying high-risk pregnant people and improving access to care are keys to reversing the high preterm birth trend.
We have to think about how can we keep our hospitals open And how can we make sure that we have providers who can take good care of patients?
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Dr. Williams says midwives and doulas can help support birthing families who don't have easy access to hospital care. She says there also needs to be more research done on who's at highest risk of preterm birth at a biological standpoint to allow for medical interventions. And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
And we've got scattered showers, even a few rumbles of thunder out there. More storms on the way later. I'll look at that forecast when we get back.
Right now at 5:30, Pitt State hosts a beekeeping clinic to teach the community how to maintain a beehive.
And showers and some thunderstorms this morning rolling through. More on the way. A look at that forecast to get you out the door coming up.
Plus, international students at Missouri Southern get the chance to experience an American tradition.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:30. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is now Monday of November. Almost said October. It is November the 18th.
Yes.
Across the region. It's been a busy morning. I'm
certainly
running a little
has, yes.
behind myself. It's not that we have a significant severe weather event or anything. It's why we don't have an alert day today. It's just that there's a lot going on this morning.
A lot to get through.
And a lot to keep track of. So let's dive into our look outside first in downtown Pittsburgh. The camera is still damp because it is still raining in Pittsburgh right now. But again, nothing strong, nothing severe this morning. And at least through the hours of the KOAM Morning News, we're not anticipating anything like that in our area. MoDOT camera, 20th and Range Line. You can see the reflection of the traffic light and the street light. Roads are still wet, and we still have a few isolated showers out there pushing through Joplin. More of that is on the way. And here's the Skywatch Storm Tracker. So we've got showers. Got some thunderstorms north of Springfield, but do remember, Skywatch Storm Tracker lightning detector does not pick up cloud-to-cloud lightning, only cloud-to-ground. Taking a look first into southeast Kansas. So right now, almost Eureka, but Howard, Sedan, just about our far western counties, you're about to have a brief dry spell out there. The rest of us, we got some heavier rain now around Girard, or at least just southeast into parts of central Crawford County. Joplin, more moderate rainfall on the way. Same in Lamar, Nevada, Stockton, Greenfield, Mount Vernon, Monette, Cassville. You've been dry for at least a little while. More rain on the way. Had some lighter showers now back into northeastern Oklahoma from Bartlesville all the way back to the state line where we had some of this moderate rain earlier. Now what we are keeping an eye on, and this is something that got to explain at least just quickly here. Our environment here is not expected to be able to support significant severe weather, okay, which is what they're getting right now into parts of west central Oklahoma. However, we do have a chance of a strong storm or two, and all hazards do appear possible with that. We're going to have just enough shear, just enough lift that it would be a possibility. But right now in Oklahoma, they are dealing with the brunt of the severe weather. Now, eventually, this is the line that will make it up to our area as we head about mid-morning or so. I think our best window, if we're going to see any strong or low-grade severe storms, is going to be between about 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. So we'll continue to track that line. You can see it's getting slowly closer to the region, but I do think it'll be in a slightly weakening state by the time it gets here. We do have some dense fog out there. Miami has improved. Fort Scott, Pittsburgh, though, coming down in visibilities. It's almost around the entire region. So again, low beams, not your high beams. Slow down. You want to slow down also because you could hydroplane. We've got some rain. It's been going on for a while. There's puddles on the roadway. Wind advisories, everyone except Benton County through 6 this evening. Non-thunderstorm winds could be gusting upwards of 45, maybe 50 miles an hour out of the south. On the future track, we kind of just got a mess of showers and storms rolling through. Now, future track shows these exiting between, say, 4 and 6, but it may be a little earlier than that. Looking at some information, it looks like the future track data may be an hour or so slow, so it may actually be out of here before that, and we'll start to clear out as we go into the evening and overnight hours. 65 Joplin, 64 in Pittsburgh. A quick look at those temperatures. We're all well above average this morning. We should be in the upper 30s. We're 30 degrees warmer as we've got low, mid, and even upper 60s out there. So kids get on the bus. They're going to want that shower, that rain jacket, umbrella, same when they get home. Scattered showers and storms continuing through the day. Should be done by, say, 4 or 5 o'clock. Mostly cloudy skies by 6. Gusty gusty winds continue late evening, but then will begin to diminish overnight tonight. We'll have another look at your forecast and break down all these thunderstorm details for you and everything else going on here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, Yates Hall at PSU held a beekeeping clinic. Attendees could learn how to maintain a beehive, bee biology, and bee behavior. The entrance price was $25, and people could earn door prizes, which could include a book on beekeeping, a smoker, and more. The big prize of the day was Spring Nuke, in which one lucky person could earn a starter colony in the spring.
Honey is harvested in the fall. When you see how much the hive has produced and you take the extra reserves, some years you don't take very much, some years you take more. You need to leave enough honey in the hive for the bees to live on it over winter.
There are over 4,000 different species of bees in North America. Vision Carthage is making its 4th annual Christmas light tunnel. The tunnel consists of 20,000 white Christmas lights and 3,000 zip ties. The tunnel can also serve as a bandstand with local bands performing inside. Around 15 volunteers helped make the tunnel possible.
You know, I think it's nice the community to come together to put this up, but all through the holiday season, you'll see people up here taking their pictures, family pictures, couples taking pictures, and so it's kind of neat just to see them have their moments together.
If you want to go see the tunnel for yourself, it's located by Carthage Eye Care at 130 East 4th Street. Missouri Southern State University hosted a Thanksgiving celebration for international students. The purpose of the celebration is to be welcoming to foreign students and to introduce them to American traditions. KOAM's Mitch Adams brings us more details.
Yeah, I think this will be the precious memory, and because it is really tradition of America, so I would like to experience.
Thanksgiving is an American-rooted holiday, but students from all over the globe, from Nepal to Ukraine, had a chance to enjoy a Thanksgiving meal.
This is the annual International Student Thanksgiving event here at Missouri Southern. Every year we welcome our international students to enjoy a traditional American Thanksgiving meal and then learn a bit about the holiday itself. And it's just a great chance to connect with our international students and help them make them feel welcome at Missouri Southern.
Momoe Kamata is from Japan. She's completing her final semester as an international student and will return to Japan in December. It's Kamata's first Thanksgiving, and she explained her perspective on the holiday.
I guess the history of Thanksgiving is really long, and people in America are thinking it's important, so this is one of the traditions of America.
Although the food is plenty and the history is extensive, the main goal is to connect with foreign students and make them feel more welcome.
Yeah, I think for Mary and I, this is one of our favorite events each year, and just to interact with those students who've traveled many, many miles to be part of our campus here at Missouri Southern. It's a great day and it's a lot of fun.
In Joplin, Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
A full Thanksgiving turkey was on display for students to pose with and take pictures for their families back home. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Hundreds of empty plates were scattered on Copacabana Beach in Brazil as a reminder of all the people who are suffering from hunger. Plus, the battle between Ukraine and Russia is evolving with the use of drone warfare. We'll have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Topping World Watch, Vienna is now in full holiday mode. A Christmas tree was lit in front of City Hall on Saturday, a day after the city's famous Christmas market opened to visitors. The 80-year-old tree has 2,000 LED lights and 1,000 Christmas baubles. It stands almost 100 feet tall. Now, each year, a different Austrian province provides a tree to the capital for its biggest Christmas market, a tradition that's been going on since 1959. Mayor Michael Ludwig noted that the Vienna Christmas market was ranked among the most beautiful by the New York Times and The Economist. Last year, it attracted more than 3 million visitors from all over the world. Well, 733 empty plates were set up in the sand along Copacabana Beach in Rio de Janeiro Saturday as a reminder of all the people who are suffering from hunger. The UN estimates around 733 million people worldwide went hungry last year. That's the equivalent of 1 in 11 people globally and 1 in 5 in Africa alone. The protest was organized by the group Rio for Peace, and it was designed to get the attention of the leaders of the world's richest nations who are arriving in Brazil for the G20 summit. The Group of 20 is an informal gathering of many of the world's largest economies to discuss economic issues. Its main events will take place today and Tuesday. The battle between Ukraine and Russia is evolving, with more fighting than ever now handled by unmanned aerial drones. Stephanie Bennett takes a look.
This represents a huge advancement for Ukraine, and it's relatively inexpensive as well. The Wall Street Journal reports that these robot attack drones are essentially a mini computer equipped with autopilot software. Kyiv is set to receive tens of thousands of them by next year. With a smaller population, Ukraine is reliant on maintaining a technological edge. It's also cheaper than missiles and artillery shells, saving money and manpower. But Russia's drone tactics continue to evolve as well. Drone attacks are a daily occurrence between the two countries. The Associated Press has revealed that a factory in Russia has been manufacturing thermobaric drones alongside decoys. They can create high pressure and high heat explosions that suck out all the oxygen in its path. A source tells the AP that Moscow first came up with Operation False Target in late 2022, which proposed firing a barrage of armed drones alongside decoys that cannot be identified from those carrying real bombs. Well, shortly after his victory, President-elect Donald Trump held a phone call with the Ukrainian president. Volodymyr Zelensky says it was a constructive exchange. During a recent interview with a Ukrainian media outlet, Zelensky says he is certain the war with Russia will end sooner with Trump as president. President-elect Trump has consistently said his priority is to end the war, but also stop what he says is a drain on U.S. resources in the form of military aid to Ukraine. For now, President Zelensky has repeatedly said that they must do everything in their power to try and end this war no later than next year.
That's a look at World Watch. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, coming up on 5:46 on this Monday morning. First, the fog tracker. We do have some patchy fog across almost the entire area, and this is not related directly to the rain in terms of it's not the fog tracker picking up and thinking that drizzle is fog. There is actually some patchy fog out there. So again, low beams, not your high beams. Slow down. You want to slow down because all the rain we've already received and all the rain we're going to receive, hydroplaning is going to be an issue. There's already ponding of water on some roadways. We're not talking flash flooding at this point, but still some slick spots that you want to be careful on. Then we have this, a wind advisory for the entire area, excluding Benton County, through 6 this evening, because we're going to have south winds sustained at 15 to 25 miles an hour. We're talking gusts out of the south, potentially 45 to 50 miles an hour. Those are non-thunderstorm wind gusts, and we're going to discuss the difference here in just a second. Here's the Skywatch Storm Tracker. Now, right now, we've just got some moderate rain across mainly the central portion of the region, along and north of I-44. So we're going to start into southwest Missouri. So Monette, you're starting to get in on some showers. Mount Vernon, you're up. Cassville, you may get some light rain, but the bulk of the heavier precipitation is going to stay off to your north for now. Rolling into Joplin, Carthage. We go up in the northern portions of southwest Missouri. Got some moderate rain from Osceola, Stockton, Nevada, Lamar, up toward Butler. So most of I-49 out there. Back into Oklahoma, we're clearing out for the time being. We have a few stray showers just outside of Oologah right now, north of Bartlesville, Newada, and into Miami, but nothing moderate, nothing super heavy out there. And then we've got some moderate rainfall, Girard, Pittsburgh, Parsons, Erie, stretching along 400 into Columbus, a little donut hole of dry area right here into Montgomery County. North of that, Yates Center, you're back into some rain. Burlington, you're in between some moderate rainfall. Garnett, Iola, Mound City, Fort Scott, so all of 69. You need slow down, be careful. Now, Eureka, Twin Grove, Howard, Sedan, for the time being, you have dried out, but you can see we've got more storms up this way. Then we have this line. Now, something we've talked about, and if you're just joining us, we're going to refresh you here. The environment here in our area is not expected to support significant severe weather as is ongoing in Oklahoma right now. But this line will eventually make its way here, and that's going to bring us an opportunity for a strong storm or two. You can see they've got a tornado warning right now. They've had 3 confirmed tornadoes with this line earlier. Now it's becoming more of a wind threat, 70-mile-an-hour winds. Tornado watch in this purple box through 10 a.m., and this is all continuing, as you see, to lift off to the north and east. Here's the little deceiving thing here. Look at the lightning. There's not that much with this line of severe storms as it continues to lift off to the north and east, and that's what it will do, and it will eventually make its way up here. Now, it has slowed down a bit, and we can show you on Max 2 the storm track that we've got in place for this. So right now we're looking at Joplin, 1038, Veneta 947, going back down Tulsa area by 838 on this line. It was moving northeast at about 55. It slowed down to about 40 to 45 miles an hour. So this track is based on 45 miles an hour. But as you can see, it'll be starting to enter our area. Again, Tulsa's the closest to our portion of Oklahoma. So we're talking about 9 a.m. I think the best window for strong storms is going to be between 10 a.m. and about, say, 2 p.m. Quick look, we also have flood watches back on Max 1 that we have to worry about. So this is only for Washington and the Wada counties, but still we do have flood watches through this afternoon. Some heavy rain expected out here. And here's a look at that severe threat. We have a low tornado risk across the entire area, low hail risk mainly into Kansas and Oklahoma, but does reach parts of Missouri, and a low wind risk. So again, we're not expecting significant severe weather, but all hazards will be possible later this morning into the early afternoon with these storms. Highs today, upper 60s, maybe some low 70s. Cooler tomorrow, low 60s. That Arctic air still arrives, but now we look to be dry. Low 50s heading into the weekend, a little closer to normal as we head into next week. That's a check of your forecast. We'll have more on these storms, and we'll be back with a lot more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
A bear caught on camera trashing luxury vehicles turns out to be a bizarre and brash insurance scam involving a weird and woolly costume. Jerry Roth has today's Take a Look at This.
Surveillance video released by California officials seemingly shows a bear wreaking havoc on the inside of a luxury SUV. But look closely, because that ain't no bear in there. The state's Department of Insurance says it's a person in a bear costume that staged not one, but a total of 4 of these grisly scenes to bilk multiple insurance companies out of more than $140,000. The costumed criminal scam was anything but smooth, though. The bear only targeted high-end vehicles like Rolls-Royce and Mercedes, and fraud experts quickly clued in on the sus surveillance.
Whoever's inside that vehicle is not moving like a bear. He's moving like a human.
Moreover, officials said the claw marks were suspiciously symmetrical. Also, the damage is, wait for it, barely there. Have you ever seen what a real bear trapped inside a vehicle leaves behind? Yeah. Between these clues and the shoddy, shaggy costume found in their possession, 4 people are now facing a slew of fraud charges. On to more vehicular mayhem, but this one was definitely real and at the bottom of a pool. Phoenix police had to act quickly when notified that a car drove into an apartment complex's swimming pool and the driver was still trapped inside. Responding officers quickly clambered onto the submerged vehicle, broke the sunroof window, and pulled the driver to safety. Finally, speaking of wild things in weird places, an Australian couple says they were shocked, scared, and pleasantly surprised when they came home and found a wild koala in their bedroom. The couple quickly shot video and posted to social media with the caption, "Only in Australia." Yeah, as far as strange bedfellows go, I'd say this koala-vies. Maybe the little guy just wanted some quality time, and so forth. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
We'll be right back. Well, crowds gather in Buenos Aires to get a glimpse of the last supermoon of 2024. Friday night saw its final supermoon for the year 2024 as groups of people gathered on the banks of the La Plata River to admire its beauty. A supermoon happens about 3 to 4 times a year when a full lunar phase lines up with an extremely close swing around the Earth. October supermoon was the year's closest to the Earth this year at 222,055 miles.
And we've got scattered showers and thunderstorms through the day today, and I think if we're going to see any stronger storms, right now the best window seems to be between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. Again, we're not expecting significant severe weather, but all hazards are possible. We have a risk for maybe an isolated tornado or two. some hail up to quarter size, and maybe some damaging wind gusts upwards of, say, 60 to 65. Our temperatures just kind of hovering in the mid to upper 60s, and that's how we'll be today. Some of you get a little more sunshine or a longer pause in the rain, might make the low 70s out there. Scattered storms continuing again through the afternoon, and then by about 5, 6 o'clock, if everything holds, they will be on their way out of here. We'll have gradual clearing and partly cloudy skies tonight, back into the upper 40s. And we do have wind advisories today, non-thunderstorm winds gusting out of the south upwards of 45, maybe 50, and that'll continue into the late evening. They'll ease up, though, as we go overnight. Arctic air will eventually arrive Tuesday. Low 60s to start, 30s overnight, low 50s into the weekend. We'll get back a little closer to normal as we head into the beginning of next week, with more rain chances next Wednesday. Let's check your forecast. We'll have the latest on these thunderstorms and a lot more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.